This is something else that you always need to be keeping an eye on because the daily RSI structure is a very telling sign. Whenever we break it, it usually incites major moves up. And so Bitcoin is looking for the next major push to the upside.
What is up, guys? So that is the last video that we had on this channel. And now Bitcoin is in fact fulfilling what we discussed, which is a break above the resistance of our ascending triangle. Yesterday on Twitter, I made a post about this when we were sitting just below 61,000. The textbook diagram, how to obtain a target of an ascending triangle, you measure the height, place it on the breakout zone, and that is what we have here. That is giving us a target of 68,050. And also in the past few videos and many of my tweets, we talked about the MACD cross up, which we are now getting continuation on. The positive momentum is building. And we also have the very, very important RSI resistance break. These daily RSI downtrend breakouts are very, very important, as we discussed. They are normally what signals our major impulses to the upside. Plotting a vertical line on each of these zones, you can see every time we get a major move up. The daily RSI structure is one of the most reliable signals, in my opinion. So that is the short-term target, 68,050. Now, I want to talk about something else that I created, a custom indicator, and it's called the Trend ID Signal Band. This is not publicly listed on TradingView. They wouldn't allow me to do it for some reason. But all of my subscribers on Twitter, exclusive for subscribers, were able to get the link to this indicator. Now, this is the Trend ID Signal Band, the 21 EMA, the 50 EMA, and the 128-day SMA. It is fixed to the daily chart. And there's a reason for that because it is highly consistent in calling major pivots in the trend and also helping you maintain the correct bias on the market. If we go back in time on the chart, you can see there's these zones like 2022 where the Trend ID signal band kept you on track for the entire bear run. It never crossed fully back to the upside from the end of 2021 to the beginning of 2023. Go back to 2020, 2021. Captured the entire run. Of course, COVID was a little bit wacky. 2019 captured the entire bull run. 2018 captured the entire bear run. 2017 captured the entire bull run. It's really good for maintaining the correct bias in the macro scale for the larger picture. Now, going back to where we are today, for the most part, this indicator kept you on track. There were a couple what you could say are false breakdowns, though the market was kind of in a lull, which gave time for the moving averages to get closer, but quickly re-alerted you on the bullish price action. Now we are currently in a cross down zone. We are in a lower low, lower high trajectory, so that makes sense. But the shorter term moving averages, 21 EMA, the 50 EMA, the shorter term cloud right here currently is about to flip back to the bullish. So that short term bullish indicator. In order to get a full-on flip, like the full signal here, both of the fast moving averages have to cross the 128-day SMA. And so we're sitting right near that short-term signal. It may happen soon in the next couple days. And if they cross above the 128, that's going to give us our full bull signal. Now, the full bull signal, the hit rate of that signal tends to be pretty good. I mean, it usually plays out pretty well. Whenever you get the full bull signal, there's usually something big coming in the market. Not every time, but most of the time, there's something big coming. So if we get that next bullish cross signal, I'm going to be looking for new all-time highs. When the 21 and the 50 EMAs punch up above the 128-day SMA, it signals major momentum, and usually that puts us in a position to place higher lows and trend. And not to mention the 128-day SMA is also a very key moving average in of itself. So we had support on there in May. We had major support here back in March of 2023. And also it acted as a resistance here in 2023 until the EMAs crossed above the 128-day and we went ballistic. And right now we are touching the 128-day SMA, or pretty close to it. This is a potential resistance zone, so don't be surprised to see maybe some chop, but ultimately I'm looking for a punch towards 68,050, the breakout target of the ascending triangle. And if we do play that out, then we might be looking for a retest of the 128-day. This is the scenario that I'm looking for. Maybe a little bit of chop right here, ascending triangle breakout target, 68,050, and then retest the 128-day as new support and then look to chop around before, most likely, in my opinion, breaking out into new all-time highs. But I'm keeping a close eye on the 128-day SMA and looking to flip our 50 level into new support before running into that overbought territory and ultimately hitting new all-time highs. We can see that the S&P 500 is way back right next to the all-time high. Full recovery. All the bears were just completely blown out of the water here. It's looking pretty good. We have rate cuts incoming. If you guys checked out the recent indicators that I posted, the M2 Global Liquidity Index is also breaking out of its resistance. So money printers are slowly coming back on. I was posting this on Twitter, the monthly chart with Bitcoin and the M2 Global Liquidity Index. And every time we break out of that resistance at this point in the cycle, when we've had the halving, which is the beginning of these triangles, and we're sitting near the all-time high, whenever the M2 Global Liquidity Index breaks out, we usually get a continued bull market, and we are currently breaking out. So usually there's a few months of a lag behind the breakout of the M2 Global Liquidity versus Bitcoin's breakout, but we've had the breakout for the M2, and Bitcoin most likely just months away from seeing another all-time high run. I mean, in reality, this cycle is exactly the same as all the previous cycles. People are just impatient. We're just hanging out at the all-time high around the time of the halving, just chopping sideways. Bitcoin's actually doing really well from a monthly perspective. Fantastic performance. And we are only about 16 or 17% away from a new all-time high. Some of these candles on the way up were about, 20%. A lot of these weeklies, this one down here, 15% up in 1 week. This weekly, 14% up in 1 week. From 2023, this one was 26% in 1 week. These types of weekly bounces, the mind-blowing pumps, can happen. They happen all the time for Bitcoin, to the upside and the downside. So seeing things turn around in a flash against all expectations is usually what Bitcoin likes to do. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, join the Patreon if you want to support my work, and also follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next video.